Hey guys, what's up everyone? I hope everyone is doing fine. This is Lufti from High Media Discord channel. Today I have come up with another interesting topic to discuss with my fellow Hive members. The topic is parenting style, the different kind of styles that the way Indian parents brings up their children and the way foreign parents brings up their children. So I think the importance of this topic is quite a lot because the way a person is raised according to their parents and that becomes when he grows up, he becomes a kind-hearted person or a total frustrated person. And but we will stick to just the different styles and the basic styles that differs in Indian parenting style and the foreign parenting style. And again, these are not facts. This is just my opinion and what I have observed according to me and according to various people that I've talked to who have been raised in foreign countries. Uh, so the first thing that I'm going to point out about the difference in the Indian parenting style and the others is that foreign parents give a lot of freedom to their children. Like they are able to decide where to travel, how to live, and what kind of songs to listen, what kind of clothes to wear. Whereas parents are a little bit restricted about the clothing styles and the places they can travel and the time they can travel. I feel that they kind of feel kind of responsible for their life and they are a little bit more secure than the foreigners like in USA and UK. And they are a little bit too much insecure about their children because they raise them with so much love and care. The other things, talking about responsibility, I think Indian parents takes a lot of responsibility for their children, like the education expenses. Indian parents plans about their children's education expenses the moment they are born, or sometimes even before they are born, and uh, they take up the whole education and expenses on their own account. Whereas we can observe that a lot of students, foreign students, are under huge student loan debts. They have to work excruciating hours to pay their student loans, even after working for 5 to 10 years. After graduating from their colleges, 5 to 10 years later, they are still paying their college education loans. So I think the kind of Indians are always responsible. They don't allow that much to work their children before they pass out colleges. They don't allow that much even if they have a weak financial condition. They always like make the mates for their education. Uh, Apart from that, one key things that I'm observe a lot is the career choice. And that differs how they perceive the Indian parents perceive the career choice and how the foreign parents perceive the career choice. Like I have a lot of friends who are into acting, arts, painting, and music composition and all of that stuff. Uh, the parents who live in foreign countries like USA, Australia, they are totally cool with their career choices. Like some of them are really proud that their students and their children are doing liberal arts and stuff like that. Whereas in India, these kind of things aren't looked upon with that much proud. Indian parents most of the times want their children to become engineers, doctors, and MBAs. Like they have a limited option, they have limited choices. Maybe that's why there are so many engineers and doctors in our country. Uh, Even if someone has a interest in like music acting, and they have to like pursue the engineering or doctor career to be on a safer side. They don't want to have so much insecurity. Like uh, one common example that I can point out is of Chetan Bhagat. He's a renowned novelist in our country, and I remember that during one of his podcasts, he said that his friend pointed out that when he was working in an MNC bank, even after even after launching three successful books during his career, he was still working as an MNC financial advisor because he wasn't sure that whether he should quit and pursue writing books and that kind of career choice, or should stick to the the safer side of being a worker in a bank. So a lot of like he was a successful person, successful man. There are a lot of people who aren't that much successful and they can't choose to become these kind of things, like to go into acting, music, writing, and there is a lot of parental pressure in that. Uh, Apart from that, one thing that I observe a lot is that foreign parents allow their children and to explore the world at a very tender age. And they want them to see how the world works, how and they want them to figure it out themselves. Whereas Indian parents don't want, and like they are a little bit insecure, and they feel like even if their children are at the age of 30, they feel like they're still kids, they don't know a lot about them. uh, these are the basic points that I feel that there is a difference between Indian parenting style and the foreign parenting style. I mean, I'm not pointing out that one is bad or the other is good. There are some good things about Indian parenting style, and there are bad. Similarly, with the foreign parenting style, I think it's just like you have to see the good side and like avoid the bad side when you become parents. Uh, so let's see what other group members of our high media think about this, whether and they agree with my opinions or not. Let's see what Sid Wright thinks about this.
First of all, Lufty, I think you made a great point. The all the 4 points you made. I just want to recollect my thoughts. Probably just share a story because I remember I had a friend from France. Uh, came to India when he was just 18. He lived here, and I know another guy who came from Nigeria. One more guy came from US. So a lot of people, like you said, the amount of freedom you have to explore the world at tender age is fantastic. Something that we don't do it, although things are changing. And second point is about creativity. All of us are engineer, um, doctors. So we are limiting our creativity, right? No parents will tell you to start painting, start cooking. There are no courses. What I did not realize is France, when you're 16, you can take courses on cooking, doing extra creative activity, which we never do in India. And that's why parents don't encourage it, because they have this mindset of restricting. And it's not like they do it consciously, it just happens because everyone's not doing it. These parents don't do it too. So but what I really like about Indian parents is not every one of them, they are soft. For example, let's say if a kid in US, he says that he's going through depression, and go through psychiatrist or something, whereas in India, Punjabi mom is like, kya depression, it doesn't make sense. He kind of slaps him. I hope no Punjabi mom is listening to this, but that's the point. I feel like both has its advantage. I feel incredibly blessed to have an Indian parent. um, I just love it. That's it.
Yeah, thanks for sharing your opinions. Uh, let's see what travel cuisines has to say. Do you have any opinions or like you would like to share about or
Hey Lofty, yeah, I completely agree with you. And I don't have, so much to talk about it, but yeah, I really agree with your points.
okay. Uh, let's see if BPM has anything extra to add to this point.
See, I think both have their own advantages and disadvantages. Like for example, like I think you've summarized it. You've stole all up points right in the beginning. You've kind of stole some of my points. So what I wanted to say is like, see, Indian parents, for example, they are like they take care of our education, they pay for it. So that way we don't have that pressure of finishing clearing the loan like as you're studying. So we can just focus on what you're studying and not worry about the rest. At the same time, foreign parents are like very uh, they kind of take depression very seriously. They give you the freedom to travel and do and take up career paths that are anything other than engineering. Indian parents usually encourage you all to take subjects that are related to science. While if you go abroad, you can take anything else. You can take home science. You can take psychology. You can like explore other topics. So
Uh, yeah, so I think we have heard all the opinions of our group, and I think we can summarize it easily that both have their own advantages and disadvantages. But I do feel like Sid right said, I feel quite blessed about having Indian parents. They care a lot of like throughout their life, even if we are old, they still care about us. Uh, so I think that will be all for this topic, and thanks a lot all of you guys for joining the High Media Discord, and I hope you all had a very wonderful time. Thanks a lot.